All right. Are we ready to go? All right. Let me just quickly look and check all the Asian Cup. All right. So they're actually going to do the draw quite quick. I wasn't expecting it. I was thinking of a performances. I think they'll probably do it. Probably. They're just doing the stage thing. But welcome everyone. This will not be the setup. There's an actual different setup for the draw itself. I'm not going to put the actual live draw, like how that, like, actually doing it, just so that no YouTube copyright or whatever you want to call it. But before we start, please do give the stream a like, and also please do subscribe. By the way, bottom right hand corner, as the Asian Cup draw is about to begin, maybe in 10-15 minutes. And big up to everyone in the chat. We have Marrakesh, we have Winding here, we have Hurricane as well. Now, also, we will have a panel of fans from different teams from Southeast Asia. So I will be putting an invite link. So let me just quickly just add the invite link, as we actually have one guest already. Let me just join the show and have your say. All right, that should be good in terms of putting that. Let me pin it in the chat, live chat. So if anyone wants to have their say on it, you can obviously, join the link as well. And let's actually get on with the open fan panel. Wow, this looked pretty good. Oh, you seem quite small. Okay, let me try to adjust your video camera size.
Hello, Ten. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Update
Is the audio clear yet?
Yeah, the audio is all right. Oh yeah, forgot to exchange to that. Ooh, so cool, so amazing. Look at this new layout. All right, so just introduce people. Maybe people don't know what team you're supporting.
Hi, I'm Make. I am Thai born and bred, and we are right now the kings of ASEAN, as people said. But in the end, it's Asia we're talking about, and this is going to be a tough challenge for us coming into AFF. No, not AFF. AFC Asian Cup. It's the moment I've been waiting for.
Yeah, well, obviously for me as a neutral, my team, my country, Philippines, aren't in it, so I'll probably have to support Thailand, since they're probably my second team in Asia. But because Thailand are in pot 4, are you worried that maybe you guys might be in a difficult group, since you're basically in the worst pot, or lowest ranked teams?
I know this will be tough, but in the end, several teams. The ranking doesn't felt matter to me. In the end, we finally can muscle up several teams in Asia before. Example, China. Their ranking doesn't matter. They will always gonna succumb to any Asian team. Gonna succumb to any ASEAN team like Vietnam or Thailand. Hell, even Malaysia will maul China, man.
Yeah, I think one of the more interesting things is, if, because Vietnam are in pot 3 and the other ASEAN teams are in pot 4, that being Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand, there's a 50% chance that Vietnam gets one of the ASEAN teams, which I would love to see happen. Could you imagine Vietnam and Thailand in the same group? A rematch of the final of the AFF Cup. And also big up to everyone in the chat as well. I'll not be able to get to everyone, but big up Winding, big up Pace Core, big up Fari Rezi, who's actually someone that I follow on Twitter. Imejima, Nick as well.
Wait, where can I go watch the stream again?
Well, just search it up on YouTube. Just search Asian Cup draw, and it will actually show the actual thing. They haven't really done anything. They're just doing announcements and everything like that.
Oh, I
And
see.
we have a Vietnamese representative as well. Please welcome. He was in this World Cup final draw stream. It's Taylor, who is from Vietnam. So who knows? I hope Vietnam get Thailand. That would be amazing. Or even if Vietnam get Malaysia or Indonesia, I would love that.
It's
But
time
pick up
to
Taylor.
cheer our Thais Philippe Troussier's here. They are several people in here when they heard about Philippe Troussier, that like they're quite old fans and they're probably still remember 2002. So this is why some people are scared of Troussier, because he managed that Japan team that broke out into the team that they would know today.
I just woke up and I just found out I've almost forgot the stream. Amazing.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I mean, maybe you'll wake up feeling a lot better. Hopefully, Vietnam get a relatively easy group. I mean, Taylor, from the teams from Part 4, who do you want from Part
Part 4?
Since that's, yeah,
For
the
me,
group-
I really want to take Indonesia and India. I never heard
Okay.
Pakistan play before, or maybe Malaysia. I mean, every Asian country except Thailand.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, like, if obviously Thailand can't get them, but I feel like Tajikistan and Hong Kong are probably the teams everyone wants, because I just think they're the two worst teams in the tournament. I just think. So I think Vietnam's best sort of chance is getting like a Hong Kong or a Tajikistan. Because I just feel like if you guys get an ASEAN team, I think that's a rivalry. So it's technically not an easy game. But if you get like Tajikistan or Hong Kong, I think you'll be alright.
Basically, for me, if we get Thailand, I wish. I'm still having a Zerathon flashback because he was too good. So basically, I just wish if we get Indonesia and Malaysia. Yeah, basically everyone in top 4 except Thailand. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think whoever gets Thailand in the group, I think that's the group of death, because I think Thailand is the strongest team in Part 4.
Yes,
And
Thailand is very
actually, Winding is joining. He's a neutral, actually, Filipino. He was on the
hello, I'm Ascal man. Why ding dong?
Hello.
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 Oh, what's up, Why ding, my big dog, mate? How
Can
are
you not
today?
hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hey, Winding,
Yeah,
Winding. I guess
Why-
everyone's
why-
here. Let's do a roll call. Taylor,
Yeah,
Winding, TENDEITEM, Iconoclast, Nostradamus,
Oh shit.
AFC Asian Cup 2023 live
I
stream.
love this
Let's
energy.
go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Bloody hell,
fucking
I
go,
fucking love
guys.
this energy. Oh shit, I just swear.
have the energy in the chat as well for Winding
is
as
it okay
well.
if I swear in here?
Hurricane Pace.
Is it okay if I swear in here?
Oh yeah, about India.
not hear me?
I remember something. In 2019, when we played
Yeah.
the Asian Cup, and our first match, due to Milovan Rajevac not playing his proper style, he after some ties pressured Rajevac to play more attacking. Our system got a bit disrupted, and then we got hoofballed by India, and we lost 4-1 in the first game.
And
But yeah.
you sacked the manager after the game.
Yep, he was
So-
unluckily sacked.
And guess who progressed to the round of 16? Thailand.
Had to admit, it was Coach Toy. His name is Sirisak Yatyatai. He's the assistant manager. He apparently got shit together, and then he beat Bahrain. Then he drew UAE. But apparently, Marcelo Lippi just showed Thais what a world-class manager is.
Oh,
the
Philippines
round of
got knocked
16.
out. They can't make it to the next round, so they got knocked out. Yeah.
And then
Pace here.
China.
Where's
Oh.
Philippines?
Ah, shut up,
Oh,
bro.
Oh, Philippines. Oh, well, I know where Philippines
You
is.
just
No,
can't-
the bloody Philippines
It's
are in the mud.
Palestine. Palestine just battered us, bro.
Yeah.
I actually remember that game in the round of 16. That was like one of my hurting games, because we supposed to go through. In the first
Yeah, I
half, we
think-
were
I
a
think
lot
against
better.
China, yeah.
And apparently, if the manager is not Marcelo Lippi, they're due. They're just due.
One day, one day.
Yeah.
Actually, I think a lot of people want to get China in from part 2.
Oh
That's
yes,
what I'm
China.
getting from a lot of people.
Yeah. I want to see it. I
Because
want to see it.
I think the other 5 teams from part 2 I think are very strong. I think like no disrespect, I think Thailand, Vietnam, or whoever I think can lose to Iraq, UAE, Oman in the tournament. But I think if you get China, I think China might be the like the Belgium from the World Cup. A team that may look good, but end up being very terrible. So that's my feeling on China. And if China don't get Thailand, I hope they get Hong Kong. China and Hong Kong in the same group would be mad.
Oh
well.
my god.
That would be mad. I would
Territory
love to see
derby.
China beat
Territory
Hong
About
Kong.
derby.
China. China is like a freaking sausage, a bread. Off the paper, in the paper, it looks good, but when you face them, there's a lot of holes in it. So don't let the investment by the Communist Party fool you. It's just nothing. It is absolutely nothing. They even appointed a manager that got Spain to the quarterfinals of 2002. In They got that man, and he freaking lost to Zico and his boys 5-1. Hell, there you go.
Yeah, I think for Thailand it's more about making sure that you guys maintain a level of consistency in this Asian Cup. I think round of 16 should be the aim for Thailand. If you guys get a lucky draw in the last 16, maybe a quarterfinal. So I think out of the ASEAN teams, who do we think is the weakest of the 4? Because I think it's Malaysia. That's the weakest of the 4.
I mean, for me,
I'll go with it.
not to underestimate Hong Kong, but I think it's Hong Kong. Okay, they drew versus Singapore.
I think I agree with you, Tendai.
Hong Kong.
We'll mute Taylor for a bit.
I mean,
Okay.
I
But I
thought
think it's
Malaysia
Hong Kong
is
for
the
me.
weakest, but that's already our weakest, man. That's already our weakest. Mark that word closely.
Okay. I think, well, they haven't really shown us the draw. Let me see. Yeah, they haven't shown us the draw.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the draw. I
They,
swear to
they
God,
showed
if
us
we
the
get
graphic.
if we get anyone, if we get Thailand, I'll basically go on the stream. I'm still
I
pissing
hope-
off Deraton since the AFF Cup. I hate them like I hate Everton.
Okay, who do you guys think? Okay, let's start with Taylor for Vietnam. What is the best group you can possibly ask for? Which is the best group for you guys? Like the one that maybe gets you like first or second in the group, maybe second.
Okay, so if my group, I think I would take Qatar, China, Vietnam, and I don't know anyone top 4 like India. Yeah, that's my favorite group.
Okay, Qatar,
Yeah, I'm
China,
wishing for them.
Vietnam, India. Okay. Ak, who do you want? Like, what would be the perfect group for you?
I want in 2 aspects: the real easy or the revenge route. For the easy group, I would say Aussies because we
looks
have
like
the
they
tenacity
don't
to fight them,
Australia. Okay.
Such a drop.
and definitely China.
And from part
And-
3?
Part 3, I would say Bahrain because I remember from when I go watch Thailand versus Bahrain with my friends, I felt, Bahrain had nothing. They only beat us because we actually can't finish that game. Like we keep shooting, Tirsil score, but we can't finishing, and we can't add the score, and then they score 2, game over. But I felt we played a lot better. That is why I put Bahrain, and but for us. But for the revenge route, right? I would say South Korea,
Tendai,
Iraq,
Tendai.
Yeah.
and Vietnam. South
Draws getting
Korea
ready.
are
They're ready to pick the
are
draws.
ultimately
Oh, really?
despised.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're starting. The final draw.
Well, I only see wins the what you call this, the guy talking
Yeah, I mean
like
they're
this
starting
sort
to
of
pick it. I think they started to pick it. I don't know what he's
like
saying though.
pick, or are they just because my screen from my live, well, my live shows them just chatting still. Like there's no like the picking up the ball from whatever yet. So yeah, they just well, from my live it says Tim Cahill, like introducing him. Is it the same for you guys?
mean,
I haven't. No, Tim Cahill has been introduced.
I
It's
think I
just
have
been
Yeah, just now.
introduced.
Just
There's
been
two dudes
introduced,
on the
right?
stream is trying to talk about a bit and it's already I think. I don't know
All
who
right.
they are.
Okay.
By the way, let me continue something. South Korea in Thai, many people witnessed the cheatings of South Korea in 2002, but also what heated up is in 2014 and 2015 when in 2014 in Asian Games we reached the semifinals and those freaking dipshits just cheated out to defeat us. I am saying this. Those freaking dipshits just hauled our shot at having a gold medal. And then 2015, what's worse, it's at SCG Stadium, right now Thunderdome. Our U19s got robbed by the ref fights. And also, who's the enemy? Yes, South Korea. The goal is that they lob it up. Their striker handed the ball, and then they scored. And the referee had nothing to do with it. This is why we fucking hate South Korea when it comes to sports. I respect
Yeah,
their
I
team,
think
but
who
those
from part
kids-
2 would you like?
Part two,
South Korea.
definitely. I want one more shot at Iraq. For the
Iraq,
revenge
okay.
tour. Because I feel like we can defeat them again if we have the shot. Because right now our attack is better. It might be like it's like WWE. Round one, you can fight him. Round two, you granted a rematch, and then you got defeated. So you want round three. And for top three, as I said, Vietnam, you know it.
Yeah,
You
I
know
think the revenge route is probably your group of death, maybe. South Korea, Iraq, Vietnam. I think Japan as well would be I think Japan are favorites to win the tournament. That's what I think. I think Japan are heavy favorites actually. I think they're the best team in Asia, in my opinion.
Are you sure?
Definitely.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
But also for Saudi Arabia, this will be. Actually, I might replace Aussies with Saudi though. Aussies or Saudi, one of them could be my easy group because Saudi right
Okay.
now is in turmoil after Amber Renard left Saudi Arabia for the France women's team. But
Woo, damn!
I am saying this in
267
case
subscribers.
that it might be dangerous if Saudi Arabia appoints Rudy Garcia. Because since I heard he got sacked by Al Nasser, and then Averona left immediately. Conspiracy? I think not.
Oh, bloody.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Saudi Arabia's in turmoil, but I think maybe with no Hervé Renard, I think maybe that kind of diminished their chance of winning because they haven't reached minimum quarterfinals since 2007. Like in the past 3 Asian Cups, they were eliminated in the group stage in 2011, 2015, and knocked out in the last 16 in 2019. So Saudi Arabia haven't had the best Asian Cup runs recently. So we'll have to wait and see how they do. They're still introducing the people that's doing the draw with the ball.
Bloody hell, they took so
They're
long.
showing us Jeparov.
While we waited, I think we should talk about SEA Games a little bit because this year is pretty crazy for SEA Games, especially in the
And
football.
Oh yeah,
Also,
I
I
haven't
felt
really
like
focused on the Sea Games.
Oh yeah, basically Philippines are in the mud. Timor Leste
Yeah.
got that.
Cambodia is in the
giant
mud.
disaster.
Cambodia's in the mud.
But
what do we think of
Cambodia?
Cambodia?
Shit!
Oh right.
What do we think of-
Cambodia!
Thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
Wait, let me check.
Let's go,
Let me
bro.
check. Wait, let me ask. Wait, last time I checked Timor Leste pocket and they got the I don't know the Ascal in the pockets. Like I'm pretty shocked that they lost like fucking 3
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about our results.
Fine day,
Don't
mate.
talk to
I
me.
remember you're being depressed
Stop.
in the SEA Games.
Stop.
I see your face. Mate, I know that you're trying to kill yourself after that game. I saw you off the bridge.
Bro. At least we're not like Cambodia, okay? They had way more easier opponents and they have the home advantage. They can even do shit, man. That's what I have to say.
Oh, someone shot.
Also-
Oh, it's Nicholas.
Nicholas
Hi,
as well.
Nicholas.
Welcome,
Pick up.
welcome.
Oh, AC
Forza
Milan.
Milan! Forza Milan, bro! Forza Milan!
Oh.
Hey!
Commiserations for last night.
Congratulations. Because I had AC Milan making the final. Because I believe in the Istanbul fairy tale, but you guys lose to Man City. That's why I said. But
Actually,
it's like a
high five. High five with 10 because I want Milan in there as well because Istanbul has the prestige of the European Cup final miracle. And what place will be better? What would be a better place to be than putting
Okay, let me see.
Is that on? What happened?
Wait, the assistant
There's a loud
of
noise.
of the draw.
No, not mine.
Her name is Rocky.
I will say
Her name is actually Rocky. I'm pretty
Park,
shocked.
Park, baby.
Okay, the draw's
Yeah,
coming. The draw's coming. And I swear to God, if we get Thailand,
But it could
I'll
be
be
worse.
doing
We
our
could
medal
be
what we
Scott.
Oh,
want.
Cash says I reckon it will be a Middle Eastern
let's
team winning.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I could see that.
Who do you, Nicholas? Who do you think will win the Asian Cup?
It's gonna be pretty tough. I
it's
agree with you.
Korea.
I reckon Japan is a huge favorite, just because.
Yeah, I think
just basing
Japan
it
or
on
the
their World Cup run. Like,
yeah.
I gotta agree. I think Japan or South Korea will do.
I think
I don't know,
South
South Korea.
Korea are all right. It depends if Son. Well, I'm pretty sure Son will play in the Asian Cup, but I don't know if that will be enough. That's what I think. So I think almost the majority of us are saying Japan favorites to win the Asian Cup.
For me, I think
yeah,
Korea.
I'd say that.
I think Korea or
You-
Iran.
All right. How about who you guys think will meet Japan in the final? Who will be the losing finalist?
For me, I think
Qatar.
Iran.
I think Qatar.
Iran.
Really?
No,
You-
Qatar. Mate,
You
mate,
think
Qatar
Saudi
is
is gonna be the
absolute
Qatar
dog.
over Saudi?
In final again.
No,
I
Qatar.
actually, I think we're going to have a repeat. Qatar v Japan. That's what I think.
To be honest, I could potentially see Australia in that final.
Oh yeah, I mean, from the World Cup alone, they surprised me, Australia, because I thought they would just be just whatever in the World Cup, but
Yeah.
they had the best ever World Cup performance statistically, and also apart from the opening game against France, they were pretty good the whole tournament.
Yeah, they got a shock win over
Oh.
Denmark, Pretty good.
And they almost had extra time against Argentina. Ken here says, when's the actual draw? They're still introducing the people doing the ball thing. So I would assume after they introduce the people in the draw, then I think we'll probably start, picking names out of the ball. There's already 6 people introduced, so I don't know if that's the whole panel or not. I think maybe 2 more.
Okay, hold on, let me check the list.
Who do you guys think will be the dark horse? This maybe surprise package.
All right, 10. Let me let me talk about the finals. I felt like
Bloody hell, why are we
Qatar
talking
will be
about-
the one. I think I agree with you. Qatar will be in the final against Japan because I felt Carlos Queiroz is something else when it came to ASEAN football.
And it will be kind of perfect because he lost the final of the AFCON with Egypt last year. If you guys remember the Senegal-Egypt final, and was his name? Queiroz was the manager of Egypt.
Oh, where's my Vietnamese
So-
flag, just in case I need to celebrate?
He has a pretty good tournament record in the regional stuff. But who you guys think is like the underdog or the surprise team or dark horse? Hurricane here says if
UAE.
not Palestine
UAE or
Uzbekistan.
Palestine. UAE or
Or Vietnam.
I think I'll go
Uzbekistan.
with Uzbekistan. I'll
Us.
go with Uzbekistan
Us.
I'll go
or
with
Palestine.
I'll
Thailand,
go
okay.
with UAE. I'll go with UAE.
I'm gonna go
It
right
can
left
be-
lane. I'm saying Iraq.
Finally, the draw
Oh
is
yeah,
happening.
Iraq
Ooh,
or
damn.
a
That's a good
I
trick.
think
That's a good-
they
Here
won
we
the
go.
tournament 2007. They're showing us the trophy. That's what I'm seeing in my screen.
Yeah, same.
So I assume so everyone's
Okay.
practically on the same time of the stream draw.
I did I
For
felt
me,
it's us.
oof. For me,
Maybe
I can see Uzbekistan, but that's probably like a lot of people's picks. I can go with Oman. They had a pretty
Really?
good World Cup qualifying. They're not as bad as maybe people think. I mean, that's why they're in part 2, because they actually did it by FIFA rankings, and Oman have improved over the past few years. So if they get a good-ish group and maybe get lucky, have a good opponent in the last 16, I can see Oman maybe a quarterfinal. But I think when we get to the semifinal, I think we'll have like 3 teams from part 1 in the semis, like Qatar, Japan, and maybe like Saudi Arabia or South Korea or whoever. And then maybe the
What are you guys'
underdog.
opinions in Iran?
I
Very good
think-
team.
I felt
Especially
it's
their
us
main weapon,
because-
Tarami. He's a good bowler. He's an absolute bowler. Underrated.
I think it'll be interesting just because they don't have Queiroz again, and I don't know if they're an aging squad, but I think
reckon they're aging, but it's quality at the same time.
yeah,
if you know what I mean.
I think Iran and Japan are probably the 2 best teams in terms of quality, but obviously Son Heung-min with South Korea is probably the single best player in Asia. So I think Iran could do something, but Iran have a history of bottling it
Fair enough.
because the last Asian Cup, they made it to the semifinal and got destroyed by Japan. And I had Iran winning the Asian Cup in 2019. I mean, I was close, but not close enough.
Yeah. That year, Qatar's defensive play is on fire.
Iran fought them. No, I think Iran were unlucky in their first game with injury to the goalkeeper against England, and then obviously England's one of the best teams in the world, and then they
Yes,
played
they
Wales,
got-
they beat Wales, and then had they got a point against USA, Iran could have made the last 16. So yeah, I think Iran are decent. I just don't know if they'll have enough to win it, because I think 2019 was their chance. That's what I think. Right.
Let's see.
Well, they're showing us the graphic, I think, of
Oh
the
yeah,
teams.
pretty
from-
good. I love it.
Finally.
It's nice. Oh damn,
So
Malaysia.
I-
Oh, yeah.
I think they're starting with
This
top
this
4.
draw will take
Come
1,000
on.
years, man.
Hong Kong, China.
Yeah.
It'll
Oh,
Take
okay.
years.
What's happening
Now they
now?
have the graphic. Now they
Oh,
have
yeah,
the
and-
graphic.
The frauds,
About
Indonesia.
Thailand,
Team
the
Cahill.
dark horses.
Let's go.
Tim Cahill. I think this is part 4. So we'll find out. Well, Qatar's in Group A,
Oh,
so
part
I've already placed them there. So
Okay,
I
okay,
assume this
come
goes into Group
Tajikistan.
A.
Come on, George, come in.
Tajikistan
Come
are
on.
in Group A. I would assume
Group A, Pakistan.
that's Group A.
Okay.
I would assume that's.
Pakistan.
I think that's how they're going to do it. from A to
Oh,
F.
Tajikistan in group.
Oh, I got it fucking right. I got it right. Pakistan. Bloody hell, I'm
Pakistan.
lucky today.
A3.
A3.
Okay.
Oh, so they're doing like the World Cup style. Okay, so
All right.
Oh.
I'll move it up a bit here.
Okay, move it up.
Okay, I didn't know they're doing World Cup style, because I think if
Go back.
they're having
Anywho.
A2, A3, A4, I would think that's how they'll order the games. Tim
A3.
Cahill,
India.
India in
okay.
Group B.
Decent group. Decent group. Okay, decent start.
All right, India in Group
Yeah,
B.
okay, I see you.
Sunil Chetri with another hard carry.
Wait, I go to Thailand.
I mean, this.
Okay,
this
so next team, India.
I think Taylor's a bit behind in the draw.
B4.
Oh, sorry
Uh,
about that.
B4. So before India, there will be other teams in their group. So B4 for India. They were in Group A. They were with the hosts in the last tournament, but now they're in the next group, Group B. This is for Group C. All the ASEAN teams are still there. There's all the
Hong
ASEAN
Kong.
plus Hong Kong, and it's Hong Kong in Group C. So
Hong Kong.
all the ASEAN teams are filling out
Okay.
the latter half.
All right, so
Of
who's
the
Hong
draw.
Kong going to be the sacrificial lamb?
Yeah, I think Tajikistan and Hong Kong are the two weakest in out of all of the Asian teams. So I think
Yeah.
Qatar are lucky to get Tajikistan. So we'll find out where in Group C Hong Kong will be in, and then after that it's all
Group three.
ASEAN. C3 for Hong Kong.
Oh yeah,
I'll-
10. Can you
I'll-
explain how this kind of drawing works, please? I never
Yeah, I
watched
think-
it work.
I
didn't
think
watch the
how
World Cup
they
draw.
do it. Like if
I
you're
think my
A2,
screen-
you play.
I think my
Like
stream is a bit
basically,
low.
if you're A1,
Right.
B1, like if you're a part one seeded team, you will play the first game against A2, and then your second game against A3, A4. So Qatar v Tajikistan is Qatar's second game. Oh, I actually didn't know who got drawn. Who got drawn?
Okay,
Me too.
D2
Oh,
for
yeah.
I didn't even
My
check who
stream
got
is
drawn.
Indonesia.
Oh, it's okay, Indonesia.
Yeah.
So D2
Indonesia,
for
okay.
Indonesia.
Okay.
All right.
Indonesia. Group D.
Ooh,
Okay,
this
the
is-
rest
this is
are-
very exciting. Fari in the chat is
My
from
wife-
Indonesia. Group D for you guys.
Malaysia.
Malaysian group
Ada
C, which
Indonesia,
means
coy,
gets
bro.
F.
Ada Indonesia,
That
coy.
Alright,
means
so-
Malaysia and Indonesia
so
were in the
group
same group.
E for Malaysia. This is Malaysia and also Indonesia's
Oh, hi,
first
Poking.
Asian Cup since 2007. And also, this is Hong Kong's first Asian Cup since 1968. We'll
E2.
find out where E2 for Malaysia, and we'll find out just where in Group F Thailand will be in. So that basically means Indonesia and Malaysia are playing their opening game against one of the teams from Part 1. That's how it's
So
going
we're
to work.
gonna be in Group F,
Yeah,
or AKA
And
Group
it-
Beyond.
Thailand have been drawn.
Yeah, Thailand in top 4, definitely. I mean, Group. Shit. Group.
Now we just hope that if Vietnam is not the first three drawn from Part 3, that would be good because we'll be
I'm
guaranteed
begging for
an
Group A. Dear Lord, anywhere.
F2.
F2.
Oh,
So all the
no.
ASEAN teams get F2.
Fucking Group A, please. Bloody hell, I need Group A.
All right,
Oh
so
my.
I guess now we'll be going to Part 3. So just a recap. Tajikistan, Group A, India, Group B, Group C, Hong Kong, Group D, Indonesia, Group E, Malaysia, and Group F, Thailand. And all the ASEAN teams are playing the Part 1 teams, whoever they get. So
Part three,
what a
part
good
three,
start for
part
all the
three.
ASEAN
Top
teams.
3. Come on.
A very,
Come on.
very good start.
Let me give you a bit something more. I was gonna explain it like
Part
before we
three.
draw about how we can
Three,
be the
that's-
underdogs.
Barrier. I
feel
haven't
like-
seen them play before. Oh, what a good strike.
Please, I hope
I never
this is.
seen them
hope.
play before.
I hope.
Syria.
Vietnam.
They're showing the graphic of Part 3,
Oh,
so
they-
I think we're going from Part 3 up.
Palestine. Wait, is Palestine good? I never seen them play before. I haven't watched
Kyrgyz
most of Asian
Republic,
football
oh.
videos.
I
They
think
they,
Palestine-
they
Vietnam.
went to the knockouts in round of 16.
Yeah, I
11.
think
Oh
the
my
last two they got
God.
grouped. The
Oh,
only two of
Dylan
them.
with the header, definitely. Oh no, it's not Dylan. My bad. I seen
So-
Dylan
Already
throw
starting
off
off
headers.
playing with the Lebanese national
I
team.
mean, Taylor, you won Group A, which is the first
Yes,
one.
I need
So-
fucking Group A.
I
My
mean,
stream is
to
a
be honest,
bit
even
slow.
Group B or C. So let's see. Part 3 is Bahrain, Syria, Palestine, Vietnam, Kyrgyzstan, and
But
Lebanon. But the team
Group A.
joined to Group A
Okay.
with host Qatar and Tajikistan
Vietnam void it.
is
Vietnam
Lebanon.
Vietnam bought it.
Lebanon. I may
Oh,
have spoiled it.
My stream is
Lebanon.
slow.
Lebanon are in Group A. Qatar have
Group A si Lebanon.
a path
What?
final.
Lebanon in Group A. Wait,
Freaking
my stream is
scam.
slow. My stream is slow.
Group A.
Fuck.
For Lebanon. So A4. So Tajikistan and Lebanon will play each other in the first round of games, whatever.
A4.
So there.
Oh, bloody hell. Why is my stream so
So
slow,
that means
bro?
we'll have part 2 in the opening game. This is going to Group B with India. It is Syria. Syria have been drawn into Group B with India. So we're getting closer and closer to Vietnam getting at least, well, guaranteed to get an ASEAN team if they're not drawn next from to Group C. Syria.
Wait, Ted,
has been
so-
drawn.
If we get Group A,
Everyone
I'm
in
going
pot
on.
one is A1, right? Like
B.
Qatar, if they're in
Yeah,
pot one, they are in
all
A1.
the part 1 are
Yes,
the like A1, B1. What was it?
B.
B3 for Syria.
Oh,
So that is India's first game. So Syria versus
Oh,
India.
I mean,
So
India's
Group
a good
C.
side.
Group C, we have Palestine. So we are
Palestine.
guaranteed an ASEAN team clash because Palestine are in Group C and Vietnam will have to play either Indonesia, Malaysia, or Thailand. So Taylor,
If we
Give
go
him
to Thailand, if we
10.
fucking fix Thailand,
Palestine. Let's
Ha! Taylor! You think you're gonna get revenge, huh?
see
Okay.
for-
You definitely will
Thailand
not.
can suck my dick, yeah. Overrated team, they just suck midfield merchants.
I would not say much,
I
John.
like that.
If the act of knowing someone's on top, if they don't bitch and moan about who's
All
gonna
right,
face,
next team.
man,
Let's see.
They're-
Is it
they just
Indonesia
go
v
out and
Vietnam?
stomp into the ground, man.
Vietnam.
Indonesia,
Vietnam are in Group
man.
D.
Oh
So
my
it's Indonesia v
God!
Vietnam. What a group!
Oh my god!
That's gonna be high. That's gonna be
That
high.
can be a group of death.
Oh my god!
Vietnam and Indonesia. And I'm pretty sure Fari,
Vietnam and Indonesia.
who's an Indonesian fan, I mean,
Indonesia.
yeah, it's gonna be
Oh my
tough.
God.
Decent group. I just need
Okay,
Thailand.
now you
I
guys
just need
fight.
Thailand in Group C.
Nah.
Ah.
So Indonesia v Vietnam,
Okay,
that matchup will be in
Indonesia.
match day 2.
bunch of frauds.
So they'll play each other in their second game, whatever you want to call it.
Thailand,
Where?
I mean, Indonesia, they're just a bunch of frauds.
Bahrain.
Oh
are
come
in
on!
Group
I
B.
want revenge, man.
Mate,
So
Thailand,
I mean-
overrated. Yeah,
that would mean
overrated.
Kyrgyzstan will go into Group F, but we'll find out where Bahrain will be in.
Nice.
Well, we're
yeah.
best friends.
This
forever.
draw is rigged.
Yeah, Vietnam v
Oh.
Indonesia in the Asian
That's
Cup
what
is
it's
going.
on.
I'm going to enjoy that one as a neutral.
Well, shithousery incoming. Indonesia
That-
can go on.
Who knows? That can be where the big team drops. E4. So all the fours have been drawn. Bahrain, E4 for Bahrain. So actually, Malaysia are with Bahrain, which both teams they play each other in the qualifier for this. And I think Bahrain won, and Kyrgyzstan have been drawn. We all know that they'll be in Group F with Thailand.
That's gonna be a good
Um,
matchup.
Yeah, I think Thailand's group is quite balanced. Obviously, we'll find out who's going to be the seeded team in that.
My, look at the smile on my face right now.
I mean,
Okay, I
Kyrgyzstan's
just need-
probably a team
I
you
just-
wouldn't mind getting from part 3.
I just need China, please. Anyone but China. If we get China, we got a huge chance. But since I
Yeah.
know this is Qatar, this is absolutely rigged. This is so rigged.
Ooh, so they're facing.
Oh,
Oh,
great
yeah,
enjoyment! Yeah, I think the macro stream is going mad. Yeah, I'll watch macro's live reaction to the draw. and Kyrgyzstan get F3. So that means Thailand's final group game is against Kyrgyzstan. Just so you know, I
Kyrgyzstan.
think. So now they're showing the graphic for part 2. So we'll kind of know Group A will be completed, but I think Qatar have it in the bag first or second. But yeah,
So
for
since we
Vietnam,
have a Vietnam and an Indonesian fan here,
Not gonna lie, Group E is like the repeat of the qualification between Malaysia and Bahrain. It's like the repeat
Yeah.
of it.
all right, brawl incoming,
so we
round
actually
one.
have some good
fight.
matchups.
Okay, Uzbekistan.
Ooh, if you guys if Group D is Australia with Vietnam and Indonesia, yeah, I mean Australia is part of AFF, even though technically
Oh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be
they
good.
are, but not really. So now,
Come on.
they're still showing the graphic.
Come on.
I think
Joe.
the suspense for
China,
like you'll
China.
find out who you guys get always, you know, because once the Group E team is
China.
on, so now they're joining
Anyone-
Group
China, please.
A with Qatar,
Lord.
Tajikistan,
China.
Lebanon is China. Oh my days!
Oh my God,
Qatar
China
has
is
this
a-
Group J, come on.
tournament.
Come on,
This
Group
is
J,
the group
please,
of
dear
life.
Lord.
Naturally sisig.
This is
Fucking hell.
Naturally sassy.
Group D. Group D.
so we'll all know.
Lord,
Naturally
Qatar
sisig
freaking
China.
picked the rep. He picked the
please. Group J.
fucking hell.
So the team that everyone
Group
wants,
D,
China,
Group
has been
D.
drawn Group A. A2, yeah, we
Oh,
know
no.
that. So Group A is technically completed. Well,
Qatar.
Taylor, you'll find out who you're getting very
This is
soon.
rigged. Absolutely rigged.
Everyone,
This is
Group
so
A is
fucking
the
rigged.
easiest group in the whole tournament. Congratulations, Qatar, on your 9 points out of 9. Uzbekistan in Group B with Syria and India. That's a quite
Okay,
difficult group, I would
rigged,
say.
rigged.
It's quite
Ah.
even, but also difficult. And you know, all of our sort of dark horse, Uzbekistan in Group B. Well, also we'll find out they'll be in the opening game of Group B. They'll be B2. Yeah, this is quite fun.
Okay.
This is a lot more fun than the
Okay.
last Asian Cup draw, where it's just like 1-1-1, and that's it. They're actually doing like A2, A3, whatever. So now we're moving on to Group C. The remaining teams are Iraq, UAE, Oman, Jordan. So it's all of the Middle Eastern teams. And Lemon Lofi says
Oh,
Indonesia,
Yes!
Vietnam.
You know,
UAE is
UAE.
out. UAE is out.
UAE have been drawn in yet another easy group, because I think Group C is also quite easy. UAE,
God.
the United Arab
basically
Emirates.
they just got Hong Kong, Palestine. I mean, they're good, but not good enough.
Yeah, but
Like 10.
but
10.
if you
I
compare,
was so fucking relieved right now, man. I was
Well,
so
I mean,
relieved.
you guys could get a tough group. I think the lower half, Groups D, E, and F, are all tough, no matter who you get, Iraq, Oman, or Jordan. So we'll find out who
Get Iraq out of there.
Chung
Get Iraq
is
out.
getting.
Get it.
Group D is with Vietnam and Indonesia. Iraq is in the group. What a group we're having. Group D
Oh my
is
God.
Iraq. So just to remind everyone, this is actually the
Indonesia and
rematch of the
Vietnam with
opening game.
Iraq.
Iraq and Vietnam played each other in the last Asian Cup, in which Iraq beat Vietnam in like the last minute. So it's a
What?
rematch.
Did that
The opening game.
masterclass against Indonesia? What?
The-
10. Thank you, Doors. We are getting a
I'm
less
not paying
painful
attention.
group now. Yes.
Now it's Oman or Jordan. This is going to be tough for Malaysia. I think Malaysia is going Jordan. So that means
Okay, last up.
Thailand will get Oman. So Jordan are in Group E, and they'll be in E3.
Encourage, man.
So we already know
Go
Oman
Jordan.
will be in Group F. So I'll just
Didn't we lose
yeah.
to them in a friendly, Jordan, 4-0? We lost to them in a friendly or something? Like a month ago or
Yeah,
something?
but-
I don't know.
Yeah, but Bahrain and Malaysia are a lot better than us. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
They're facing again. Like I can't even believe it myself.
So-
They're fucking facing
This
again.
is why. This is why. This is why it's rigged. This is bloody
Oh.
rigged. This is fucking rigged.
so not only do we have
Fuck
an ASEAN clash, but we also have the winner of the
Come
Middle
on!
East World Cup. So Oman Group F. So now we are going to
You
find
lucky
out
bastard.
the tough.
You
The tough
fucking
draw.
lucky bastards.
Told ya, we are the freaking dark horses, man. We're gonna be.
Mate, you fucking lucky asses. You are so
Well, that's
fucking
the
lucky.
luck of the draw, you know. That's the luck.
At least we didn't pay the drawers to get an easy group like Qatar. I'm kidding. No, don't take it seriously. I'm kidding.
Well,
Mate, I
now
swear to God,
Qatar's group is way
I'm
too
sorry,
easy.
God. If we get anyone,
if you
please,
got if
anyone that
Vietnam
we
gets
can have a
Japan,
chance.
that Group D is mad. If it's Japan, that's the group of it's already the group of death. I would say Group D. It's a group of death already. Group A and Group C are quite easy.
I felt
Like,
like,
if you're any of
Group
the
D
teams,
is
you
already
have
a
a chance.
dogfight.
Yeah,
Group
Group
D is
D.
already a dogfight.
We are guaranteed one of the strong like type of teams getting knocked out early, because Iraq are good, Vietnam are good, Indonesia on the rise, and obviously Part 1 all strong teams. We're going to see a strong team knocked out from Group D quite early. So now it's just finding out who Taylor and Fari, who's in the chat, will be getting.
I felt like
Uh,
I hope it's Aussies that will face us because
yeah, I think
we have
Australia
a very
will be.
good attack.
Fari, an Indonesian fan, says my expectations are already low. Now even better. Yeah, you guys have a tough group. Come on, Japan.
Okay,
Well, let's
Group
see,
A
let's
Qatar,
see.
trust me. Group
Oh,
A
yeah,
Qatar,
it is.
this is absolutely rigged. Group A Qatar.
Well, we already knew that. That's why I already put Qatar in.
Oh yeah, and while we're waiting here, let me talk about why I would make everyone. I will convince everyone why Thailand are the dark horses of this tournament.
All
One
right,
is
so
that,
go first. Qatar.
One is we have been
Okay,
doing
this
well
is
against
definitely
the big
This
boys
is rigged.
within the last
This is
match.
rigged.
We've just have been unlucky that our attack hasn't been fully unleashed yet. They haven't got that chemistry yet. But I hope like within this June, our attack, which contains of the 3 S's and Shanative, will actually be unleashed because all 4 of them are very skillful and are
Oh, Group B
very
is Australia.
ready to explode. But
Group B,
we just
Australia.
only need to wait. Oh. Aussies.
That's
Damn it.
that's.
No.
I
Give
think
me
I think.
Saudi. Give me Saudi.
Oh, Australia v
Okay.
Syria again.
Oh,
Once again.
that's an
Jordan.
interesting group.
Jordan for
And they just joined the names instead of. Oh yeah, because there's already.
I can already see Australia coming out.
Group C is Iran.
Oh, come on, Jordan! Please, Jordan. Please, Jordan. We beat them before.
Oh my
we had
God.
the chance.
Get
Jordan,
Japan.
Group C.
Jordan!
Iran, you
Fucking
go.
Jordan, please.
Jordan's
I'm
already
begging
joined.
you, Lord. Jordan.
Japan. Japan. Japan.
No.
Japan
No,
for D.
no,
Group
no,
D.
no,
no.
Japan.
Get the fuck
Japan.
Indonesia,
Jordan.
Iraq, Vietnam,
Japan,
and
Group D,
No,
Japan.
shut the fuck up. I'm watching
Japan,
it.
Korea, or
Japan, Group D.
Saudi.
Japan. Japan.
Japan,
Jordan.
Japan.
My
Japan.
brothers.
Japan.
Japan on Group C. What a group! What a group we are having in
Group D. Japan, Group D.
is
Group D, Japan.
Oh, and Taylor just rage quit. Group D: Japan, Indonesia, Iraq, Vietnam. That's
Fucking rage
that's
quit
the group of death.
Guys.
And Bill,
guys,
says, well, we'll get back
good
to you,
luck.
Bill, after the 2 teams have been drawn. And Korea, so which means that Thailand gets Saudi Arabia. But that's an anticlimax. But damn,
Yeah.
let me just good placement.
Oh no, it's on the.
And obviously they'll
Damn.
draw Saudi Arabia Group F.
Jen,
Uh,
I am very damn satisfied right now.
Bill Hurt says, my opinion, Thai national team cannot underestimate Oman. During the friendly match, the Thai national team cannot penetrate the game to defend him, but may
He's my
understand
ally.
that the midfield is not full. What are your
I
thoughts?
felt like let me answer him myself because he's one of my friends that I put my link on my Insta. I will tell him. I felt we haven't tuned up their attack yet because this attack, I know the three S's are connected, but they had another playmaker in Chanatip. And Chanatip hasn't been synchronized with these three yet because, I mean, Chanatip has played with Tirosil before. He has played with Adisak. He has played with several more people, but these three are new to Chanatip. I hope, like in our match days where we face easier opponents, that we have managed to tune them up together.
Yeah,
Right? Because like
go on.
in friendlies, I felt like imagine if you put a friendly in FM. What would you like to pick? Would you pick the hard opponents or the easy opponents if you are gonna just only tune up the team?
Maybe
It's
easy.
easy opponent first.
Hey Joshua, this is for
Yeah.
you.
If you want to test a team, you want to pick the easy ones. But if you want to test the depths that your entire team can go, you had to pick something like I mentioned like 10 managers Newcastle and FF. You might need to pick Barcelona. You might pick Bayern. You might pick Real.
Yeah, if we make the Champions League next season, to be honest, I hope we actually, well, if Milan are actually in the Champions League, I hope we get one of the Milan clubs in the Champions League if we're in it. Nothing's guaranteed yet. I'm staying humble. If we beat Leeds on Saturday early kickoff, then I'll be confident. But damn, let's look at the Asian Cup group. So just a recap: Group A, Qatar, China, Tajikistan, Lebanon. Thoughts on that group? Easy group for Qatar, 9 points out of 9 for
Gotta
Qatar.
go, lads. See ya.
Hey,
Gotta go.
All right, see you winding.
Yeah.
Alfira
See you, Winding.
sayonara, guys.
I reckon it'll be
Alright,
a top right
wait.
second
all right.
between Lebanon and China.
Yes, yeah, I think because it's in the Middle East, maybe Lebanon. I think Lebanon can get second, and then third. I think this could be the group where the third place team gets knocked out. Like there's like 4 out of the 6 third place teams can progress. I think this group can only. I think maybe this group sends only 2 teams, Qatar and Lebanon, who both play on the final match day as well. So we
That's a good match.
might know that both teams are already progressed to the next round. So I think for Qatar, this is like easy, like one of the easiest.
100%.
I felt like for second, don't underestimate China yet. Just I will say that when they face Tajikistan and Lebanon, if Wule manages to perform, or like many of the keymans perform, they will go through.
Yeah, but let's see if they have enough goals in them. But we'll wait and see, especially when Qatar play China in the opening match of the tournament. So if Qatar can start off really strongly and beat them like 3-4-0, that would be a lot of trouble for China. Group B: Australia, Uzbekistan, Syria, India. Thoughts on the group? I think this is quite even-ish, kind of even.
Really?
Like
How
I think
gonna just pummel through all of Group B?
I think Uzbekistan
Yeah.
are probably a lot of people's dark horse. I can see
Yeah.
maybe if depends on the opening game because the opening game is Australia v Uzbekistan, so that'll be tough. And also
think
Australia
Aussies-
v Syria, they play each other during the 2018 World Cup qualifying and in the last Asian Cup as well. So that's a rematch as well. Actually, Australia are playing against teams that they play in the last Asian Cup. I just realized
Basically,
Uzbekistan
Oh,
in the
really?
last 16, and Syria joined the group stage last time, and India from 2011. So I think any chance for India? Maybe I'm not seeing it.
If they can do like they face Thailand, they're good. But this is
Yeah,
Syria
but
and
they're not.
Uzbekistan. They're levels above India, so I think they're
Yeah, I
gonna
agree
finish
with
rock bottom.
Yeah, I think India can make a good account of themselves, but the quality of the other 3 is just a bit too much. And I think that's all 3 teams progress. Like whoever gets third place will progress. That's what I think. Group C: Iran, UAE, Hong Kong, Palestine. Well, we have 2 clear favorites to go through.
I'll say this. I don't know if this will get me banned, but it's gonna be a threesome on Hong Kong. Oh my god!
Yeah, Hong Kong to get
YouTube, please
annihilated.
don't ban me. Please don't ban me.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
it'll be me, but I think Hong Kong, Palestine are probably
Sorry,
the
Ken.
two weakest teams from each part. So that can also be another group where both teams get knocked out. Whoever gets third. But maybe a good chance for Palestine for the first time to make the knockouts as well, because now they have at least a team they can beat in Hong Kong. And then Group D, I cannot wait for this group.
I
Japan,
think Indonesia and Vietnam will have
Vietnam.
a lot more cards, even more than Netherlands versus Argentina. Mark my words, Indonesia
Indonesia
versus Vietnam will have even more cards, more yellows, more reds than Netherlands versus Argentina in the quarterfinals last year.
Especially if, let's say, because they play each other in the second group game, whatever, let's just say both Vietnam and Indonesia lose the opening games. That means they can both go into that second game knowing that if they win, they eliminate the other team. Because for the Asian Cup, you know how the tiebreaker works? The first tiebreaker is actually head-to-head.
Really?
Yeah, it's not how the World Cup with goal difference. It's actually head-to-head. So if both teams are on 0 points heading into that second game against each other, whoever wins, that means either Indonesia or Vietnam will be guaranteed to finish above the other. So I cannot wait for Group D. I think that's the best group we've had. Fabi
I
says
hope Indonesia and
fifth
Vietnam
and
has
still
a
3 points.
good
as,
strategy to handle Iraq. But I didn't really trust Susie when it came to facing a bigger opponent because Japan tactics won't fully work. But apparently the shit housing will defend against opponent. It will actually fought opponents well, like Newcastle, for example, sometimes. Right? I think 10 losers.
Wait, what was your point?
But like when this kind of shit house plays, like how Vietnam played under Park and how Shin played with Indonesia, that could be a bigger team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Indonesia are playing the tournament favorites, Japan. So good luck to them as well.
I see Iraq as a wild card. They either become second or they become dead last. There's no in between.
Yeah. At the same time, you can see. Well, does anyone think Japan could just absolutely flop this group?
I could see that
Because
as well.
I don't think. Could you imagine Japan groups?
No.
Impossible.
Well, we'll find
It was
out.
impossible.
How would it be
and-
impossible?
Yeah. And Group
Yeah, about
E.
that.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Nicholas, I was thinking that if you can ditch Japan, you're good. You have to in both Indonesia and Japan and Vietnam. You guys need to be dipshits. Don't be nice against these kinds of teams. Don't be nice.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. How about Group E? South Korea, Malaysia, Jordan, Bahrain. I think this is an exciting group. You know, obviously everyone will talk about Group D, but Group E is actually quite. I think the bottom half, Group D, E, and F, are the three toughest groups.
Yeah, I agree.
I think South Korea, Malaysia, Jordan, Bahrain. I mean, Malaysia are the weakest team, but you know, you just never know. Bill says the goalkeeper, one of the key men for Vietnam, he played well when faced Japan, and he's half Russian. His body are European style. That's an advantage, but need to watch because Vietnam changed coach. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Because I felt Trussier has a different tactical direction than Park. And it might take time for Trussier to establish his ideas, establish things, and it took years. How many years they took Park to catalyzed into their first trophy. It took them 2 years, and right now it's only one. This will take time.
Yeah, I mean, like on the other hand, if I was to use a good example, look at Morocco at the World Cup. They changed the manager 2 months before the World Cup started, and they were probably they reached the semifinals. So I think it depends on how I think Trissier would adjust his system. Would be the same sort of style as Park. I mean, we're not sure. Fari says he watched the Malaysia beat South Korea in the Asian Games a few years ago. So I think a lot of the Malaysia players now have become part of the senior team. So yeah, I mean that can I can see a few shocks in this tournament as well. But do we think Malaysia would be able to progress from Group E? Or is it just too much for them?
Yeah, I can't see it personally. It's either Bahrain or Jordan.
Yeah.
I'll say this: Malaysia, if they want to go through, they need to be at their absolute best. Because from what I've seen, Bahrain, they are beatable, and if they can do well, they will get third. One of the
Yeah.
best thirds.
Before going to Group F, Model says, what about India? I think India have a tough group. All three of us, we just think that the quality of Syria, Uzbekistan, Australia, even though India can show a lot of fight, I just think quality, especially in the Asian Cup, shines through. I think quality shines through in the sort of Asian Cup, the AFCON, whatever. Whereas in the World Cup, you can show fight because there's a lot of different styles. Whereas a lot of the sort of weaker teams will probably play defensive in a way. So India can make it through, but it's just going to be too tough.
Too much.
Just from where I look at it. And Group F, Ake's group. Group F, Newcastle United, Thailand, Kyrgyzstan, or Saudi Arabia. So I'll be backing my Saudi brothers. I mean,
I guess
I
we
mean-
had to wear red again and park the bus in the second half.
yeah. I mean, Saudi Arabia are obviously the favorites, and I think this is another balanced group. Like Saudi Arabia, probably even without the news of Hervé Renard no longer being the manager, still one of the top 3-4 teams on paper. Thailand, the best ASEAN team. Kyrgyzstan, decent. They had a bit of dip since the last Asian Cup, but they're still better than most Central Asian teams. And Oman have massively improved in terms of a team from the Middle East. So I think Group F is also interesting. Ake, where do you think Thailand would finish? First, second, third, or last?
Second or third, but I felt like one thing I had to warn Saudi Arabia is that if you lose your mojo, like from the last World Cup, that spirit, that fighting spirit, you might be beyond fought before you're even known. Because what I've read about Hervé Renard is that when he evaluates the squad, he sees that this team has good quality players, has good body, has good anatomy physiques, but what they lack is motivation to play. They keep flopping around, especially like the past Asian Cups, right, where they underachieved many times. Hervé Renard managed that, and you look at the qualifiers, you look at his team talk when they beat Messi 2-1. See, that's how it works. And with Hervé Renard gone, if the next manager can't see that point and can pinpoint and capitalize on what Saudi Arabia can do, make them play, they're gonna be beyond, because they're gonna be reduced to what they used to be.
Yeah, I think Saudi Arabia, they surprised me at the World Cup just by how they play. I mean, they still play defensive, but they were very, very athletic as well, like very strong players. And maybe against Thailand, Kyrgyzstan, Oman, that might be in their favorite, that athleticism that Saudi Arabia have. It's so tough. Group, I think the bottom half of the draw is tough. Mado says, I think we are overlooking Iran too. Yeah, I think Iran have a very good draw. I mean, UAE is probably the tough one for them. But will they actually win the tournament this time? I'm not sure. As I said, their best chance was in 2019. And Mother also says India's U17 bashed all their La Liga U17s last week. I hope we have an upcoming golden generation. Yeah, I think
it is still on route though. It's still a very long route until that happens.
Yeah, I think if that's the outlook for India, I think India would want to bring in some of those U17 players into the Asian Cup. And let's say whether they have the players to help India progress, I'm not sure. But when you have a sort of golden generation, if it's too early, the national team it's still too much. Like the best example I can give from the World Cup was Ecuador. Ecuador have a very good young golden generation up and coming, right? Like they have Moises Caicedo, they have Sarmiento. Like they Ecuador have a very good young team, but it's at the same time it is too young of a golden generation when they play at the World Cup, and that's why they were knocked out early, because a team like Senegal had more experience and have their own golden generation. So I think it does take time for if a team does have a golden generation, but if this I feel like if the India U17 players, like a few or a lot of them are in the Asian Cup squad, I just think it's a tournament too early for India if that's the case. And maybe the next Asian Cup might be India's best chance. That's what I think. Fabi says, anyway, gotta go.
Good night, Ari.
Let me see the knockouts again. I'm finding the parts.
How the knockouts? I
So
think
that
if you win Group F, you play the runner-up of Group E.
I was gonna say that if I was finding the knockout one, so that I was gonna say that. Can you please drop a prediction, Ten? Drop a prediction. Let's go.
Yeah,
I think, well, let's just say Thailand finishes second in the group.
So, we're gonna face those dipshits again. The amount of hate crimes Thais is gonna commit against South Korea is gonna be unlimited.
Really? Is it? I thought if you finish second Group F, you get the second place of Group B. That's what I think.
Oh, really?
Let me see.
Nice.
Because they show the graphic of the knockout stage. It's just that it's not on Wikipedia.
This is what I'm finding right now, man. I'm finding it on this damn live.
That's gonna be a good match if that happens. Potentially Thailand with Uzbekistan.
Oh yeah, that would be even Syria or Australia.
Yeah, Syria. I could see that.
And I think if Thailand finished third, I think it depends as well. But more likely, Thailand could get one of the strong teams, because if Thailand finished third, or any team in the tournament finishes third, then they play the group winners of whichever group.
I got a question for you guys. Who do you think are some young players to watch out for? Maybe their first Asia Cup, their debut. There are young players to watch out for.
I think the only team I can really think of is someone from Uzbekistan, just because they won the U20. I think it was U20 or something. Maybe like a Uzbek or Iraq player. Oh, or even Sketchy Cord says Lee Kang In, I think plays for Mallorca. for South Korea, potentially. I think obviously a lot of people will focus on Sun, but if Lee Kang-in has a good Asian Cup, and by good Asian Cup, I mean South Korea make the final, or at least the semis, then he can be in with a shout. Any good young players at game for Thailand? Like anyone that you think, yeah.
The attack of the Super Show brothers, Super Show Saraj, Super Show Chasan, Super Chai Chai and Super Nat Menta, the three S's. And definitely, one more that you have to know is this guy called Virate Kompan. He is a midfielder right now who is operating as a deep line playmaker. And he's like something like Tirathon, but as a central defensive midfielder, he can also play center back at times.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams will have a lot of good young players. What other predictions can we put? I think. Let me find that graphic of the knockout.
Yeah, let's do the prediction.
I'm finding. Okay, I'm just looking back. Okay. I have the graphic of the knockouts, how it works. And yeah, if Thailand finishes first, wow, I have to. If Thailand finishes first, they play the second place team in Group E, which is South Korea.
Wait, Ken, I didn't count. It's Nicholas cupping at a minute. I didn't cup it at a moment when you mentioned it.
Oh. And if Thailand finishes second in Group F, they have the runner-up of Group B. And that will probably, if Thailand, let's say, finishes second, wins the round of 16 game, the likelihood is it's Qatar versus Thailand in the quarterfinal. That's the bracket.
They're gonna shade. They're gonna shade. They'll pay the rest. They'll stop them up. They're gonna shade. I'm kidding. No. They're still levels above us.
Yeah. So technically, I think Qatar have a good route to the semifinal at least, if they win their group, because if Qatar don't win their group and finish second somehow, then if they make the quarterfinal, the likelihood is Japan. If Japan wins Group D, then what kind of that? I think the advantage of finishing first is you play a more weaker team, or a team that finished third. I mean, you just have to play out the draw. I think teams that are playing in the final round of games, like Group E and F, they'll maybe find out the landscape of the tournament before how the teams are at that point. But yeah. So actually, you could get Japan v Qatar final, because that's how the bracket looks. If both teams win their group.
To be honest, I feel like we're looking past Australia. Because
I
really
think
they have a
if
good
Australia
mix of young, raw talent, but also experience.
Yeah, I think if Australia finishes first, they play one of the third place teams from groups A, C, or D, which I think they have a good chance of progressing. And then if they progress from that, they play Group F winner or Group E runner-up. So that's the more likely Saudi Arabia. If Australia finishes second, they could play Thailand. And then the quarterfinal is likely to be Qatar. So I think Australia have, no matter what, I think the quarterfinal for Australia will be difficult. So India have a chance to knockouts. I think, it depends. You have to finish third. If you finish third, you have to make sure that your points or your goal difference is helpful as well, because you don't want to be that one team that miss, or two teams that miss out just from finishing third. Philippines missed out on qualifying for the Asian Cup because we were the worst second place team. Like out of the 6 Asian teams in the last qualifying round, we were the worst, and we were the only one to miss out as a second place team. But oh well. At least I'll get to enjoy the tournament as a neutral. And we won't see the ASEAN teams until the latter half of the tournament.
You're a Philippines fan, right?
Yeah, but the more I think about it, more like I don't want to anymore. We are very bad now.
I was asking,
So
what do you think of your new kits? Like, don't you have a new jersey provider?
oh yeah, I'm not sure if it's like a whole new provider, but it's the one with the leaves, flower, or whatever you want to call it. It looks nice, but I kind of wish I would rather have a bad kit but have a good team. But
Hey.
Fair enough.
yeah, but at least I'll get to enjoy the women's team at the World Cup because we're in the World Cup, and we have a pretty decent. Well, when I say decent, I mean compared to the other groups. I think we have New Zealand, Norway, and Switzerland in the World Cup. With
Not familiar with the
Switzerland
World
being
Cup,
our
but
first
that's
game,
good.
so I think we have a chance. But for the Asian Cup, who do you guys think will be the 4 semi-finalists?
I'll stay right with my same opinions as what we discussed last time. The one of the best performers in the World Cup in Japan. Qatar definitely because their system. I had to explain to everyone first. Don't underestimate Qatar's mistakes in the World Cup as like, oh, they're just back again. No, they are still above Asian for how they play. So here's my point: Qatar are still good. They are above Asia, but they haven't broke out into that international level that Japan has already reached. So I think Japan and Qatar are already in the semifinals. For me, I am not confirmed with Saudi Arabia anymore. I don't know how their mojo will get them to.
Hmm.
And I think I will replace them with South Korea because they have a very good manager coming in Jurgen Klinsmann, which I don't know why the hell the U.S. fans freaking despise that man. That man just got them to 4th or 3rd in the. What was the trophy for South America again? I forgot the name.
Or the Copa America. But I think it's sort of like I think near the end of his tenure, I think it did went downhill as well because that's I think the same year the U.S. failed to qualify for the World Cup in 2018. So
He's
they
responsible
replaced
for-
him with Bruce Arena,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I
thought it
think
was-
Klinsmann's all right. Whether he'll win the tournament, I'm not sure.
Clemson's is alright, but just hope he did okay in the squad because he doesn't have much time until he has not many months left already. He has already 8 months left, which is also a warning to Trussier and also Mano as well. You have 8 months left. Tune this attack up, or else your job will be in fucking jeopardy.
Yeah. Well, Nicholas, who are your 4? Well, I guess we're both going to say Qatar and Japan. Who's the other
Yeah,
2
okay.
semifinalists?
I'm gonna go opposite of what he said. I'm putting my faith in Saudi. I reckon because Saudi have 3 young talents they've brought in. Abu Hamid, Tobati, and Al Birikan. What I've seen from what they've played with the Saudi team so far, they're game changers. So I could see that. Um, and I probably have to say Australia as well. You just
Yes.
can't.
I think.
I'm speechless.
Well, I think Australia on paper are the best team in Group B. Whether they finish in first, we'll find out in the tournament.
Yeah.
I think I'll still stick with Qatar, Japan. I will say Saudi Arabia, and then maybe I'll go with a surprise dark horse making the semis. I'll say Uzbekistan or Iraq, one of the two, as like a surprise semifinalist. But then whoever they play in the semifinal, they'll lose to Qatar or Japan. That's what I think. But yeah, I think that's all for the.
All right, 10.
Oh,
Before we go, can you give like the whole prediction?
oh God!
Come on.
I mean, it's so early. Okay. Group A, Qatar, Lebanon, that order, and then China, but China misses out as one of the worst third place, and then Tajikistan. Group B, I'll give hope to Uzbekistan. Maybe they'll get a draw. Nick, see you, Nicholas. Group B, I
Yeah,
think
Nicholas.
Uzbekistan, Australia, Syria, India,
Wait,
and Syria
so you
does
put
progress.
whoa, hold on. You put Uzbekistan above Australia?
Maybe they'll get a draw. Maybe.
Oh.
We'll see. Group C, it will be Iran, UAE, Palestine, Hong Kong, and I think who did I say third? I think Palestine will miss out. So I'm saying the third place teams are from Group B, D, E, and F. And I don't know how that system would work.
E, F.
Yeah, that's
Possible,
all the
possible.
third place. And then Group D, I'll just go on paper: Japan, Iraq. Oof. Maybe the surprise: Indonesia, Vietnam. Vietnam to get eliminated. That would look. That's the group of death.
You know, one thing. I felt like if that happens, Vietnam will break.
Yeah.
I'll use this word, break.
And then Group E, I'll say South Korea, Jordan, Bahrain, and sadly Malaysia. Group F, I'm going Saudi Arabia. I think for Thailand will still progress. I think it's Saudi, Oman, Thailand, Kyrgyzstan, but Thailand still
Wow.
progress. Because
So
I
who will
do
Thailand
have
be
faith
in this
in
case?
Oman.
So who
If
will
they
be in this
finish,
case?
if they finish third, it's either Group D or Group C. Either winner of Group C or Group D, which is what I've said is Iran or Japan. I think that's where Thailand gets knocked out. I mean, a round 16 against one of those two teams, you're not expected to win, but you never know.
So to avoid this case, we must reach the runner-up spot.
Yeah, I think so, because that would mean you play second place of Group B, which I put as Australia.
Oh no!
But yeah, that's. But Thailand could actually find out who they could be playing, because Thailand plays in like one of the last few days of the group stage, so they'll probably know how the bracket looks, and they'll be like, okay, maybe we'll go for second, or whatever, or maybe we'll go for third. Who knows? Or first.
All right. Here's my turn. All right. I think Qatar up top. Then China second. I think the quality players will carry them, but they will gonna be annihilated in the knockouts.
Knockout, yeah.
Lebanon and Tajikistan.
Okay,
Tajikistan bottom.
will Lebanon be one of the third, like the best third place, or will they miss out?
I think at this point, I think they could miss it. But
Okay. Group B, I think you're thinking in that order.
I think Aussies, Uzbekistan, Syria, India, rock bottom with 0 points.
Okay. Group C.
Group C, I think Iran will might get the full 9 points. They will get minimum of 7 for sure. UAE in second. You don't underestimate Abdul Rahman, the guy with the afro.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you remember him.
he's still playing.
Yeah, I think he's
The
still
last time I
playing.
seen him was 2015. Like that's how long ago it's been.
And I think Palestine left be third. And
And then
Hong Kong dead last.
Yeah.
Group
And then
D,
D,
I'm gonna bias a bit here. Japan up top. And I think hold on,
See,
let me
it's so
find
tough.
something.
it's
Yeah,
so
this group
tough.
is just but I want to check something real quick about Iraq.
Because I still think Iraq are the second best team in this group. But will they finish in second is the main question. 'Cause-
Okay, I think I can decide now. Iran second.
Okay. Oh, Iraq second.
and
Okay. And who
for-
gets?
I'm gonna
I said Indonesia.
gaslight. I'm gonna gaslight the entire of the forces in Vietnam, even worse than when the US is gonna napalm them. I will say Indonesia third and Vietnam
Like me.
fourth. Boom!
Yeah,
Sorry to
that-
Vietnamese.
I cannot wait for. Well, no, it's just prediction, right? It's not like it's actually
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
happen.
But
I mean, if it
I'll
does,
give a
then,
concrete
well-
reason. I'll make a concrete reason. I felt like Trussier's system won't be set up on time because right now Trussier is still busy with the younger teams like the U23s. I think they're facing Thailand right now. And I think he won't have enough time for Vietnam and for the main team to do things. So I think this weakness will cost Qatar.
Yeah. What group? D. Group E.
South Korea up top, definitely. We'll keep the question.
Yeah.
South Korea, I think it's gonna be Jordan. I'll say this. I'm gonna be a big shock. Malaysia
Okay.
third.
Malaysia third. And
Malaysia
Bahrain.
third, Bahrain fourth. Because I don't feel like, if someone who can finish like Malaysia can do it, I think we could fight them, but we can't finish. That's all. And I felt Malaysia, who won't choke at all times, and who won't choke it several times, I think they could defeat Bahrain or get a point out of them. But Malaysia won't be the third team that's qualified. They won't.
And then Group F. So
I might change this prediction later. If I need to see Saudis form a bit. I'm not gonna put Thailand first immediately, but I want to see Saudis form first.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia up top. Thailand
Second,
second.
and third,
Oman
yes.
gonna be third. Oman's gonna be third.
and then
Kyrgyzstan getting group. And for the chokes, right? The choke predictions.
Well, I think we both said Vietnam because they're not a big team, but I think in ASEAN they are a big team. But I think just because of the group they have, I think whoever finishes fourth in Group D, that would be their big flop. It's not really a flop, but because it's all very tough teams as well.
I felt they
Unless
won't
you have
have
another team.
enough time for this. They won't have enough time.
And then Ravi YT says South Korea Japan final. Would that be possible in the bracket if they win Group D and Group Yeah, that can be possible as well. If both teams win their groups, Japan and Korea, they can only meet in the final. So that can be a possible final as well. Or GA Qatar. All right, so we've been streaming for an hour and a half. Obviously, the fun was like almost like a few minutes ago, well, long time ago already.
This is fun, Chen. I have to
Yeah.
thank you again for it. Apologize again if anything gone wrong and like confusions happen. And I really enjoy talking with you at this platform, Chen.
Yeah. Well, I'll be hosting Newcastle Leagues on Saturday, early kickoff. We'll have Muddle, I think. He will be on the stream of that Watchalong, Newcastle Leagues, the early kickoff. And then I'm not going to do a Watchalong for the Brighton game we have because it's late at night. And then I will do a Watchalong for Leicester at home and Chelsea. Oh, on the final day of the Prem season, that would be another brilliant day as well.
Where we will take third. We will
Well,
get third.
I don't care about third or fourth. As long as we get top four.
Yeah.
Because it's only like a few million pounds you earn.
Miss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and asking you a bit, do you think we will bottle top four? Like, it's getting obvious.
If you lose to Wolves at home, I don't know, because I want Liverpool to draw. Liverpool just draw one game, please. Because that would mean if we win our next two games, then we make Champions League.
Yeah, one thing about Liverpool that
as long as Liverpool don't win every game, that's what I'm hoping for. They can get 7 points. I'm fine with that. But do I think Man United will bottle it? If you lose to Wolves, then I'll start to question it. But I still think Man United have 3 home games. I think, but of course you never know. If Liverpool drop points to either Leicester or Villa, which is the next 2 games, then I think top 4 is wrapped up for both of our teams. But I don't care who gets third or fourth. As long as we get Champions League, I'm fine.
But also a warning of us both by my friend. He predicted us on around January or February or something. But he talked to me. We're Man United fans, so we talked. And he said this: Liverpool has that shithouse ability to get top 4 when no matter how the situation is, somehow Liverpool will leave up there and secure top 4 out of nowhere.
Yeah. Because, well, they've won the last 5-6 games already. But they could have easily drawn any of those games. The Spurs game, the Fulham game, the West Ham game. Just draw one game, please. That's all I'm asking for. Like, be unbeaten, it's fine. Just don't win every game. But yeah, the stream has gone for about almost an hour and a half long. So please do subscribe to the channel. Give the stream a like. Maybe I'll be doing a highlights reel of this. Maybe have a shortened, highlights reel of the fun parts of the stream, especially Group D, when Group D was drawn as well. So, and one last as well from Sketchy Cardiff. Lucas Moura is the reason we don't get Champions League. As a Newcastle fan, I'll be frustrated. Yeah, or even Man United's case as well. But until then, please do subscribe to the channel. By the way, big up to Ake, big up to Winding, Taylor, Nicholas, that were all on the stream. Ravi as well, putting the teams I think he thinks will win their groups, which is actually all the seeded teams. But until then, we will see you guys in the next one. I'll be live for the Newcastle League's early kickoff. And yeah.
All right. See you, everyone.